Okay, I'm filling the tank with the RO water that I've had sitting prepared for a couple of days now. I made this water changing hook yesterday or the day before, and it's hooked up to a tubing and a water pump, because that's the only way I had to get a water pump submersible strong enough to be able to push the water up 5 feet. And it goes through this hook. I can also siphon water with this hook to a specific level that will automatically stop the siphon when it reaches the level. That's a piece of bubble wrap to keep the water from messing up the substrate and making a mess. And so it kind of just softens the flow. I just realized I forgot to film or give photos of me as I was planting this. So basically, these are all plants from my old tanks. These are dwarf sage that make a nice carpet and don't require lots of light or CO2. On the kind of jammed and super glued into the driftwood, I have 3 Anubias nana plants, which are taken also from my previous tanks. And in the back, I have planted, I split into 2 this Reuben sword that I had put into the, or no, I don't know what it is, Amazon sword or something, but I split it into 2, and so they're gonna be tall in the back. And over here I had some leftover bacopa, and so I planted those. And then here next to the right of the bacopa, I planted some of the bigger dwarf sage. Okay, and I have 3 pieces of driftwood. Okay, it's all put together. It's 6:30 on Saturday, and I spent from about 10 o'clock a.m. until now doing this whole process. First, what I did was check to see that my tank was all cycled, and it was for 2 days straight. And so what I did was empty all the water using the submersible pump. I also then removed the substrate, put everything in pails, and then it was time to see if I wanted to put a window film background on the back glass. I tried it and it didn't really work out too well. It's just too hard to get the wrinkles out or to get the bubbles out. And so I'm just opting for the clear back glass again, which I like. And so I did that, and then I cleaned off the tank, and then I put it on the plywood board that's underneath it, because it overhangs a little bit, and so I thought I should be safer. See, it overhangs. Well, the tank is just about exactly the size, but I didn't want to take any chances. It hangs a little bit. So what I did was I got a 3/4 inch plywood board, painted it black where it would show, and set it underneath the tank. And then it was level left to right, but it wasn't level front to back, just a tad off level. And so the thing I figured out to do, I tried to put a shim under the leg of the dresser down there, but it didn't work because it's carpet and this dresser is really heavy, so couldn't really jam anything in there. So what I did was I put, I needed something that would be smashable, soft, and so I put cardboard, a strip of cardboard in the back of the plywood, and that made it all level. Okay, so show you what I've got. There's my heater. It's a cobalt heater, and this is the sponge filter with the canisters of ceramic media, which is even better in keeping the ammonia and nitrites and nitrates down. I decided to get a lava rock. I've never gotten one, and I thought it was kind of cool because it's kind of like a little tunnel. Very light stone, very porous. There's an almond leaf. I put some bacopa in the back that I had. All these plants are from my previous 2 little tanks, and so I just kind of cleaned them up, trimmed them. That's a new piece of cholla wood, feeding glass, moss ball. There's another little single filter with the ceramic media canister, so I thought I'd put that in. That blue airstone there is going up to, well, you can't see it here, but it's a battery backup air pump, and so it goes on and turns on the air whenever the power goes out. So if the power goes out, you don't have to worry too much, because at least the shrimp have some air movement while the power is out. And then here's my 3 pieces of driftwood I got. I like driftwood that has kind of nooks and crannies and form kind of tunnels. And in the back there, I had one, I think it's Amazon sword, and so I split it at the base to kind of spread out two smaller plants. And there's a moss ball there. And then I have 3 Anubias Nana plants, which I really like. All you do is either super glue them or jam them into any crevices, and then the roots grab on. In the front here I had lots of little tiny dwarf sage from my other tanks, the ones I removed. And so I cut them, trimmed the roots, and put all the little short ones to carpet this area. And then I have some longer ones that I decided to put back there, kind of next to the bacopa. And in between that the Bacopa and the Amazon swords in the back, because they're going to get taller. Those are the taller dwarf sage. Let's see, what else? I guess that's it. But right now what I'm doing is I've got a airline tube going with a siphon going down into this bucket where the shrimp have been all afternoon after I caught them. It took quite a while to catch them from the 2 tanks. Tons of little teeny tiny babies. I must have at least 100, 150. Most of them little teeny tiny babies. And so what I'm doing is I'm dripping the water from the new tank into their old tank water, and so they get acclimated to the new water. And so I'll do that for about an hour probably, and then I'll put them in. So, and the aftermath, my whole house is a mess. I've got stuff all over the place that I have to clean up now. Stuff downstairs too. Okay, but this is exciting. Oh, I forgot. I bought a different kind of air stone. This is like one of those wall air or something. Air wands that are kind of form a wall of bubbles. And so I thought that was kind of neat. Okay, so mission accomplished. And here's how it looks from my bed. So this is my bedroom. So I'm lying in bed and I can look over there at the nice big tank. And it'll be so much easier too, because all I'll have to do up here is do water changes and maintenance on this tank and this tank, and not 3 tanks. And also you have to do less maintenance on larger tanks because there are fewer problems that can happen. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, I've put all the shrimp into the tank after acclimating them for about 1.5 hours. They're exploring their new home. And what's hard to see is so many of them are so tiny. If you look at the gravel, you'll see any movement are those little tiny baby ones. But they're hard to spot since they are so tiny. The ones you're seeing mostly are juveniles. Oh, there's an adult. That's a bigger one. But the little ones, they're there, but they're so small it's hard to spot them on camera. And they're in the crevices of the rock. See, there's one there. There's a couple hanging upside down on the driftwood. Well, there's a baby on the top of the driftwood there. Oh, he just flew off. Okay, I'm going to turn the light off.